Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode of our show, The Newark Debater. Here we capture the brilliance and beauty of our everyday discussions. My name is Bradley Gomia, and today I'm your host. Last episode was all about the nature of personal change and self-improvement in debate. We wanted to know the true benefits of debate in one's life and test how long-lasting personal change truly is. As special guest Shagun Kukureja confirmed for us, debate is a very self-affirming and empowering activity that will challenge you, excite you, and maybe even at times upset you, but it will certainly help you change your life for the better.
Yeah, well, I coach debate. I coach high school debate, but I teach right now English and drama.
Oh, wow.
And which is just as exciting as teaching debate, especially drama, because it's like debate all over again. Yeah, but like 10 times more. Yeah.
Is there like a formula or something that other people can use to start doing what you do?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. And how debate, is there like a certain way of teaching debate if someone wants to teach it in their own classroom? I think that there are three things when I first started teaching debate that really came to mind. One was having students know that they have a very powerful voice, because a lot of students don't get that and they don't know that just yet. The second is giving them topics in which they, at least in the beginning, which they really care about. So if you care about something, you're more willing to engage in it and give it a try because it's something that sparks your interest. And the third is sort of just teaching a very generic formula, as you were saying, in how you can create arguments. So I tell my students, whether it is you're debating in math class, English class, history class, or you're debating with your parents, there's always one formula. Every argument has a claim, it has a warrant, and has an impact. And if you know that for the rest of your life, you can always create a good argument, because a lot of students just stop at the claim part or the evidence part, and they don't take it a step further. And taking it a step further is critical thinking. So that is, I think those are the three ways in which, if someone does want to teach debate, that would be a good way to start.
Yeah, and it's fun too. I've only been debating for like a year.
Yeah.
But I know
This episode will be focused on the power of expression, the liberating aspects of the arts through speech teams, and the difference between verbal and nonverbal communication. But before we get to that, here's some news you may have missed.
Hi, my name is Juana Fasasi, and I am your co-host for today. As you all know, the NDA just finished hosting its annual New York Invitational Debate Tournament, and the turnout was amazing. You can now see the results on tabroom.com. Next, Newark Science's Brianna Aaron and North Star's Nasir Smith and Junea Pathol completed their qualification to the Tournament of Champions in Lincoln Douglas and Policy Debate, respectively. Rutgers Newark's Devon and Nicole won the first half of the California Swing, 2 back-to-back tournaments at the University of Southern California. Newark Science's Shaniza Muhammad and Mobin Mayon won the Policy Division at the Ridge Invitational. At the CFL4 competition, Central High School senior Oriana Selby won the first place in dramatic performance, and the team placed 5th overall. And Central currently has 5 students bidding for the CFL Grand Nationals, which will be held in Kentucky. And now, back to our show. So how would you explain the ins and outs of what speech debate or speech teams are to someone who doesn't know what it is?
Well, a speech team is basically comprised of students who put on presentation as far as poetry reading, prose reading, dramatic interpretation, and they perform against other students from other schools, and they are judged by 1 or 2 judges. If they make it to final, it's something by 3 judges, or something 5 or 7. And what the students do, they memorize some of the scripts, and some of the scripts are from television, movies, or literature that they read. It's all about communication.
So are you originally from the Newark area?
Originally, I'm not. I'm actually from the Caribbean,
Oh, wow.
or some people say the West Indies. I'm from Grenada, which people confuse it as Granada, but it's Grenada in the West Indies. And it's a small island, and I moved here in in the United States over 25 years ago and moved to Newark.
So you went to school here? Did you go to school here?
Yes, I attended Burnett Street School in the 8th grade, and then I attended Central High School.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. So, what has debate meant for your transition?
Wow, debate. It was great. You know, I did one debate competition.
Yeah.
One. I started debate my senior year. I was only on the team, the debate team my senior year, as well as the speech team my senior year. And I was trained by one of my best friends from Science High. Mr. Ferran sent her to train me. And our very first competition was who? The same person who trained me. And I lost. I lost to her, and I was like, no, I give up. I can't do this. So, you know, it was fun. And then Mr. Ferran came back, and he said, do you know what speech is? And I said, no, I know what speech means, but speech team I didn't know. And then he brought us the transition and said, well, this is what speech team is. It's like debate, but it's opposite. It's more active. And I said, sure, I like to do it because I've done it in church. And I changed from debate to speech right away. And that's my transition to it. It was great. It was very smooth. I enjoyed it, but I missed debate, but I enjoyed it more because it's something that I like to do. And from then on, I went to college. I came back and became a judge in the competition. Later on, I started working for the Newark Public School, and I became an assistant coach, and now I've been coaching for 17 years as the head coach of Central High School.
I know you didn't debate that long, but what was like your most memorable experience as like a debater or like a speech?
Well, the most memorable thing I could say was my first debate at Central. It was the Newark invitation was at Central High School. At the old Central High School. That's where it used to be, and something they call it Central High School Tournament. And when I saw her walked into my old friend, I said, no, I can't do this. And, you know, I was nervous, and she whooped me really bad. And I said, no, that's it. But as far as speech, my most memorable thing about speech was winning my very first trophy in Rutgers, New Brunswick. We went to Rutgers, New Brunswick, and I did the category improvisational acting, where they will give you a topic and you make up a story in 7 minutes. And what I did, I made up a story in 7 minutes, and I had to perform the story. And I took 6th place, which is my very first trophy. And that was one of the most memorable things for me as a competitor.
Do you remember what the story you made up was?
To this day, I still do. Yes. The story was about the show Laurel and Hardy. It was an old television show. And I played the characters, I did the voices, and I played a nurse. So it was very difficult at first, but then I remember watching the show with my brothers, and I did the impersonation of it, and I did it well, and I won.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so being that you've been coaching for 17 years, what has been your proudest moment as a coach thus far?
So for my proudest moment is seeing my students excel. You know, we get the question a lot, are you from Arts High? Are you from Arts High because your students do well? You know, and I'm like, no, we're from Central High School. And they say to me, Central High School, is that where gangs are? And I'm like, no, you know. So I smile, I laugh. And I think it was 1998, my first student becoming state champion. Dinah Boclouche did dramatic, and she played 12 characters by herself. So that was my most proudest moment right there. And then in 2004, going to nationals in Salt Lake City, Utah, I felt great. It brought me to tears because I didn't expect it so soon. What we did, we went to nationals, and we came back victorious because one of my students, we didn't advance in duo, but he finished ranked number 10 in the nation in prose written. So that was one of my most proudest moments as a coach.
What is one of the things that you try to instill in your students like the most?
One of the most things I instill in them is education, the importance of education, and taking the education seriously, because where I'm from, education, you got to pay for it. You know, you have to buy your books, you got to buy your uniform and everything. In this country, I consider education to be free in high school and middle school, and they have to take advantage of it, and some of them don't. So I instill that how important education is, so when they leave here, you don't have to continue doing the acting. You don't have to continue doing the debate. You don't have to go into politics or go into entertainment industry. Whatever you want to do, you need the knowledge. And education is out there. You learn something new every day, you know. And that's important that I instill in them, that how to take advantage of what they have in front of them.
So the values that you teach them is kind of like a representation of what they should be, you know, going out and doing in the real world.
Yes, I think, you know, it's important because coming from an urban area, urban setting, people don't expect for you to excel. People don't expect for you to succeed. And they have to show that to other people that they can. No matter if they come from Central, Science, Barringer, Shabazz, Artside, or no matter if they came from Newark, they got to show them they're not from Newark, Delaware. They're from Newark, New Jersey, and whatever they put their mind to, they can do.
So what are you most proud of in reference to your career outside of coaching?
I think the most thing I'm proud of is continue doing the acting, continue doing things that I like to do. I didn't give up when people said, "You want to be an actor?" And I said, "Sure." There's no problem with me becoming an actor. Fine, I had a very heavy accent, and people said, "You have an accent, you will never do, you know, you could never do this." And I said, "Watch me." You know, I took everything that my mom taught me about education seriously and believing in yourself. So I'm always proud of my accomplishment that I've done so far. You know, I don't think my life has stopped yet. I'm still moving forward. I still want to do other bigger things, but so far, doing some of the shows I've done, or the commercial, or the voiceover, all the different things that I've done, I'm very proud of it, because Central High School gave me my start as an actor, so I'm proud of that.
Can you just like list some of the, you know, movies and shows you've been in, just to give the audience a real idea of, like, you know, how big scale this is? Well,
I've done the voiceover in Grand Theft Auto 4, Liberty City, The Lost and the Damned. I've done 3 voices, to be exact, in that video game. I've done the Samsung touch phone commercial. I played a historian in the Shakespeare documentary a couple of years ago. I played a junkie in American Gangster, the movie with Denzel Washington. And I've been on the show Blue Bloods twice so far as a cameraman and just as a featured extra. And I've done the off-Broadway play, which is one of my best friends wrote and directed at the Raw Space Theater and Abington Theater, called Who Am I?
So, like, with all your opportunities in life, you still somehow are drawn to Newark. Not a lot of people would, like, even if they come, like, they get successful and come from Newark, not a lot of people would actually come back. What makes you stay?
Very good question. I love that question. Why? Because I could have gone anywhere else to teach or work, I feel. But one thing I noticed was there wasn't enough young black males in the Newark public schools, especially at Central High. And I wanted to come back because that's where I got my start.
Normally, we conclude our show with a mini debate between our guests and a mystery challenger. However, today we have the honor of having Oriana Selby, one of Dennis's many nationally ranked debaters, here with us to give us a real idea of what a speech competition might look like.
And if I could ever grow up, I would be one of them sad singers and do the dime, and everybody would clap and cheer. And I would sing the dime, and people would love me. And when they heard it, they would have a little piece of beauty in the world. And I would sing the dime, and out come angels to come take me away. Even though the beautiful singing is sad, I will sing the dime and be as free as a little bird heaven. It's a butterfly.
Death comes to us all, though unexpected. In his award-winning plays, Lee Hall teaches us the meaning of life, love, and faith through an eccentric child's eyes. Spoon-Faced Steinberg by Lee Hall.
It's a butterfly. I was never right ever since I was born. This means that I can't read proper or write proper, and that I'm a backwards child. But I don't mind. You see, when I was born, it was at a dark night, and I was in the hospital. And when my mom looked at my face, she noticed it was round. And when everybody came and looked at my face, they laughed and said I was spoon-faced, because when you look into a spoon, you see a face just like mine. And that's how I came to be Spoon-Faced Steinberg, because my other name is Steinberg. And when you're born a baby with a soft head, that's what makes you backwards. See, the thing is, even now that I'm old, I still can't read proper or write proper, and that makes me very sad, because I cannot go to proper school as I'm not allowed on account of my brain. But I'm quite a special little girl. Girl, says Mrs. Spud. She does the cleaning. She says that being different is quite good. For every person is a special person. And that we are all different. Otherwise, we would all be the same. Mrs. Spud told me not to worry about my brain. She says that being different is being who you are. I do not believe that I fell on my head. I do believe it was all part of what it was supposed to be. And when I was born, God touched me on my head. God came down and touched me on my soft spot and made me me. Spoon-Faced Steinberg. I started feeling a little funny at first. That is when I had hair. Except I was a bit tired at first. And I got thinner and thinner. And so my mom took me straight into the doctor's in case I disappeared. And the doctors had to rush me straight into the hospital. They had to put me in this tube. But I didn't want to go into the tube on account of me being so thin. And so I went anyway. And when I came out, the doctor said that the machines gave him an answer. The doctor said that the machine said that I was going to die. That I was going to die. This Spoon-Faced told me not to worry. She took me home from the hospital, and she said that I would get better, my hair would grow back. But each day, I got sicker and sicker than I was, and worse and worse. And so the doctors put me in this machine that looks like a space machine. When I went in, boy, I lit up like a Christmas tree. But I had an idea. I was going to ask God. God! Why are you making me so sickly? And he never replied. I never got an answer. So I asked Mrs. Spud, where did my cancer come from? She said she didn't know. And so I said, well, maybe God has cancer and isn't telling anyone. Maybe I caught it off of him. I don't mind. Because I got letters, pictures, and gifts from all over. And I realized that we are all different, like a butterfly. And I am indeed grateful for still being here. And I will sing the dying and be as free as a little plane floating up to heaven. Blessed is he to be glorified and lauded. Blessed is he to exalt his name on high. Amen. It's a butterfly!
Selby, I'm a senior at Central High School, and my piece is entitled Spoon-Faced Steinberg by Lee Hall. It's mainly about a girl who has a disability, and also that we learned that she has cancer. And she's a little girl whom she's really childish and playful until she realizes that she's going to die. And throughout this story, we find out how sad she becomes when she finds out her fate. This piece was actually chosen by my drama coach, Mr. Philbert. He thought this would be a great piece for me because I talk like a little girl, and so my pitch is very high and a little low. It was really challenging to try to characterize a disability person because I never had a disability, nor have I ever encountered a person in the way they think, and also like being childish, like being like a little girl again. So it was hard to like play that role.
Until next time, you're watching The Newark Debater.